But yeah, we are in the game. Let's unzoom a little bit, bring out the resources. We have SoulsKeeper on the right side, playing as blue as Fallen, and Pepsi on the left as Red Empire. One of these guys will be, of course, finalist, and they will meet me or match me in the finals. So I will be either fighting Pepsi, probably fighting playing as Empire, or SoulsKeeper, most likely as Fallen, as we can see here, and that is what they play most often. Yeah, but we can see Hive here pretty early on. Of course, barracks, so no instant expansions. Even though they saw me pull it off against Makrozerg in semifinals, it worked for me, but it was obvious that it's not too easy to hold it. I was dealing with a pretty hard rush, and it was really difficult to defend both bases. But I managed to do that and eventually got a win, so it's definitely possible to do the instant expansion on this map, even against Fallen. But definitely pretty difficult, so I'm not surprised that they are not going for instant expansion. You'll probably see some normal skirmishes between swordsmen and stingers going for a while, and then we'll see what they decide to go for. Maybe Pepsi will also go for Valkyries again, because this map kinda supports it. It's pretty big. You can make the Elven Centuries pretty safely, but he's going for second barracks, so I wouldn't expect it. This seems like he wants to focus a little bit more on some units from barracks, so either swordsmen or elf rangers.
Upgrade complete, my lord. Building complete.
Yeah, so now only 2 hives. Not building anything else yet. Not even making us. Actually, he already has second control form. He made second summer a little bit sooner. Now going for a third one, which is quite unusual. Wasting ton of wood on that. Not really building any advanced buildings, but he's just spamming hive stingers for now. Perhaps he's still making more swordsmen, just 2 barracks, not really advancing to anything like Elven Century, not even making blacksmith. But the population is still pretty balanced. SoulsKeeper a little bit ahead by like 3, but that's not too important. But he will definitely have a little bit more maximum population now, since he made a third summoner. He's also making a Souls Trap, so I'm expecting him either to go for really quick Avengers, or maybe rather just go for Nightmares again. Maybe some Matriarchs, that makes sense against Empire, so I would kinda expect that, but we will see. He's definitely pushing him back now. He has, what, 7 Hive Stingers. There are only 2 swordsmen, so definitely needed to retreat there. We see a tower from Pepsi, so now he could maybe transfer to Valkyries. He's also upgrading to Stone Keep, but he should already start building his first Elven Century if he wants to make Valkyries. If he wants to go for Temple and Gnome Workshop, then he doesn't need to do anything. He just waits for the Stone Keep, of course. SoulsKeeper finished his Souls Trap, but doesn't have Summoner now, so he needs to wait for that. Then we will see what he's going to do, but he will just probably make Vengeance Hall. Then we'll see if he will go for Nightmares and Matriarchs or Avengers. So we have a small skirmish in the middle of the map. Of course, some Hive Stingers will die here, but I think if he didn't leave this swordsman alone for a sec, it could have also died. Now he's just going to bring them back and heal them once he has a temple. There is one scout, okay, checking the expansion from time to time, that's good. But SoulsKeeper definitely lost some value here. He was a little bit ahead on population, now it's totally even. We see 2 Vengeance Halls at once. Also, SoulsKeeper messed up here. He went here with 2 Hive Stingers, I guess. Tried to take the treasure, but he probably misclicked, because he was already in range. Actually went around the treasure, but didn't pick it up. So this only costed him a few resources, and didn't really get anything from that. Now the scout is going here at the same time when he's trying to build the tower, so this is going to get stopped. But he has 2 swordsmen here, so he can probably kill the stinger at the same time. Maybe even micromanage this peasant out of that situation and save him. So SoulsKeeper knows about this, but he cannot really do anything. Once the swordsman will stand here and protect it, perhaps he can just easily make an expansion here. He's also making a temple finally, so he'll be able to heal his injured swordsman. And we see the Nightmare and Matriarch strategy already going for Sorrow Shrine and making 2 Nightmares at once. Also producing, not really producing more Hive Stingers right now, but he already has 15 of them here. No scouts around the map from either of the players. Pepsi is going for the expansion now, which SoulsKeeper should definitely kinda expect since he saw the tower here. So I would like to see him either also go for expansion or some scouting, which he might be doing now. But he definitely needs to prepare for a push. If he wants to destroy this, once there is too many towers, he won't be able to do anything. There is of course this one tower at home as well, so if there will be some air, which I don't see happening with this strategy and infrastructure of buildings. But if there was any air, it would be still protected at least by one tower. And there are 2 towers in the expansion, so it should be quite safe. We will see how long he will be waiting. I will usually wait for 6 Nightmares and 2 Matriarchs, with how many Stingers I can get, usually like 20. And then I do the timing push, but his build order was not perfect here. Now he's even going for Incubator. Also lost some units there, so maybe he's going for a little bit later push. Of course getting a Nail Scourge, which is really wise choice. Still not getting expansion. I think Pepsi is actually kinda expecting him to create an expansion, so he's going there with his swordsman for a quick scout, probably wants to push it, but he'll probably find out that there is no expansion, so then he will probably defend, probably rely more on his defense, try to focus on making more peasants for his expansion, try to win on economy, or go for a push, but right now of course SoulsKeeper has much stronger army, so it will be really hard for Pepsi to actually push something. But Sumner is going in the front, so maybe SoulsKeeper doesn't want to push, he just wants to protect his base option here. He can definitely push Pepsi back. Yeah, good thing that he didn't turn on the Frost Shields, he will just waste mana. Now he's going for the expansion. I mean, Pepsi probably saw this location and didn't see an expansion, so now he knows that he's winning on resources. But SoulsKeeper is building it now, we'll see if he'll also push at the same time. 2 towers will be hard to push, but he still has a much stronger army. But once the priests start coming out, and also maybe some catapults from this Gnome workshop, it will be actually even much harder for SoulsKeeper to do anything, so... Since he already has 7 Nightmares, I think he should start pushing. He should probably make a little bit more Hive Stingers, but now he has the perfect amount. Yeah, he has 14 Hive Stingers and 7 Nightmares, so he can shield every single unit if he has enough mana. Which 2 Nightmares don't have, but if the shields are not on all Nightmares, that's not a problem. He mainly needs to shield the front line. Doesn't have any Matriarchs yet, he's not even producing them. Now trying to pump the resources into the expansion, but he knows probably that Pepsi had it a little bit sooner, so he'll have more resources. So he really needs to start pushing and get the value back. We finally see first catapult from Pepsi being produced, also making third barracks. And also resurrection is being researched right now, so at 50%, so 50 more seconds. He spent a ton of gems on that, but if he makes a little bit more priests, he can definitely utilize it here and probably even win this fight. But right now SoulsKeeper would definitely win on open field. It's a question if he would win against these towers. But he could definitely try. I don't still see him making any Matriarchs, he's just kinda standing here. Pepsi casting a Bless, maybe trying to go for a counter push, which SoulsKeeper should definitely participate in. I don't see why he should be retreating like this. If they will fight here, it's totally fine. He just doesn't want to fight near the towers. But now there is a catapult, so definitely SoulsKeeper needs to be more careful. This won't be easy anymore. Second catapult is being produced. But if he fights here, he can maybe try to bring some Stingers from the underground and rush on the catapults from the back. That would definitely give him a small advantage. He would probably be able to kill them really easily, maybe even some priests. But it seems like Pepsi already has trailblazing for his swordsman, so he will have some extra movement speed. That will definitely also help him protect his backline a little bit better, because he can maneuver a little bit quicker around his army. We see also Vile Cocoon from SoulsKeeper and finally making some Matriarchs, so also going for Frostbolt for some extra slow. And even more Matriarchs. Right now I don't see Metamorphosis being researched yet, so probably no Flying High-Stingers, but he's prepared for that with that Vile Cocoon. Now he kinda splits his army. He probably wanted to run around this swordsman, which he actually can. And what Pepsi is doing here, he saw the High-Stingers and then he ran away. So yeah, Pepsi kinda threw here. He definitely could have saved this catapult with some swordsman. Instead of that, he kinda sacrificed his whole army. And this might actually cost him the game. He also has some more units in the back, not really sending them into the front line again. Once again, the thing I was mentioning last game, he's just not using the rally point on his army. Just somewhere in his town, not really strengthening his army during the fight by bringing new units. SoulsKeeper will now bring some skeletons. He still has 75 mana for new skeletons, so he can create some here. But there are still 2 towers, 1 catapult ready, so it's gonna be still hard to push. Not sure what he's doing here with the Matriarchs, but he can definitely scout at least with 1 skeleton. Now we see more Stingers coming, which is definitely wise. He needs a little bit stronger front line, then he can maybe add even more Nightmares. He also has Nail Scourge for extra movement speed on Nightmares, so he can easily guide these swordsmen, even though they have trailblazing, but you can still do it thanks to the slow that you have on your cold basic attacks. Still no one took the treasures in the underground, probably kinda forget about it. Now SoulsKeeper tried it in the beginning, but then kinda failed there. Also SoulsKeeper has ton of resources now. He should go for another expansion, at least here. Maybe even build some towers, yeah, more production buildings, and mainly start just pumping out more units. Yeah, you can use these gems for a few units for the backline and just pump out more and more High-Stingers. Okay, now it left for a second, but seems like it's working. Actually, Pepsi was able to accumulate a huge army again. Also, he has a gnome arc, so we can maybe drop on the backline a little bit better, maybe kill some Matriarchs for free. Or if he even makes some pikemen, which he can because he has a blacksmith, he could even kill the Nightmares even easier with some pike damage. We see catapults doing some free damage. SoulsKeeper needs to maneuver this a little bit better. Now he's under huge pressure. He will not be able to escape these really fast swordsmen with no damage. And the economy is balanced on both sides, so you are not really getting any advantage by not making any pressure. He's still losing on population, but has more resources, and so he just needs to produce more High-Stingers. His army needs more High-Stingers, and he has gold and production buildings for that, so it makes no sense to not make them. But now he's actually trying to go for some Avengers, even making Mental Equilibrium in Chamber of the Avengers for some extra HP, specifically 75. But even though he already has 2 Avengers in this game, Pepsi decided to go for a different strategy. Not Elf Rangers as we saw in the first game or previous game, where it didn't really pay off. It was actually the first game, I think, on Confrontations map. Then of course it was really hard to kill the Avengers, so the Elf Rangers just died there. But now he has catapults, a ton of swordsmen with some priests, even a gnome arc, so we can definitely defeat the Avengers with good micromanagement. We'll see how he will do. Of course he should have waited for his catapults. Now he's kinda wasting the potential here. Also these Stingers will come on the catapult. There's no protection for them. He's focusing on, basically not focusing on micro at all. He should at least pick them up with the gnome arc, which he didn't really do. Maybe he picked one, but now he dropped it back into the High-Stingers, so that was definitely really poorly played by Pepsi. So even though SoulsKeeper had, I think, a little bit weaker army there, Pepsi actually through this. So now he's going to lose all of his units. I think the swordsman will very easily die to all of these Avengers, towers and skeletons that are being summoned here. And then there is the question if Pepsi will be even able to recover from this. Also the Avengers will have no problem in pushing the enemy, of course. Yeah, he's not even saving his gnome arc, just kinda letting it die here together with 2 priests. Which is even more resources just lost. SoulsKeeper immediately reacting with another base. He doesn't have any wood. On the other hand, Pepsi has over 1000. Really overgathering a little bit, but yeah, SoulsKeeper should definitely start focusing on that a little bit more. But yeah, he's winning on population by 30 right now, which is giving him a huge advantage. He should definitely start pushing now. I don't see a reason why not. Of course, you can make the expansion pretty safely, but you can still keep pushing as well. All of these towers that Pepsi is pumping resources into can just really easily die to the Avengers. Yeah, now we even see Sword Mastery upgrade in barracks from Pepsi, trying to upgrade his swordsman because he's really focusing on them really heavily. But maybe SoulsKeeper is finally moving slowly towards the enemy. But he's keeping his Avengers back for some reason. Maybe he should keep this one back for healing on the unholy ground, but he's not actually standing on it even. So he's not getting any healing there, and the other Avengers should be definitely with the army pushing here. Pepsi has a new arc, also some catapults, but he's not really using it for any harassment. Maybe from here, or maybe even through these trees if you can drop somewhere. Right now he's just kinda standing here, making more and more towers, which will be totally useless against the Avengers. Also the base is not even placed here yet. He doesn't even have resources to make a town hall. On the other side, SoulsKeeper is just finishing his expansion, basically already at 55% here. Now winning by 50 population. Avengers going into the front line, not really with attack moves, so he could have dealt some free damage here, didn't really do that. He was also not using all of his Avengers, I think he had more. But maybe not too many of them are left there. But he still has ton of resources, yeah, of course. Avengers also cost ton of wood, they cost 50. But now he even accumulated some wood as well, so he could easily create 3 new Avengers. Strengthen this army even more. We see some pikemen from Pepsi, so that's of course really smart. Unfortunately, he won't be able to get through all of these hive stingers and actually attack the backline of SoulsKeeper. He's still losing by 50 population. Yeah, so right now he doesn't really have the support of priests behind that. So this front line will just die to the Avengers. These pikemen shouldn't be hitting stingers here now, they are running to the Avengers, but it's just too late. So yeah, Pepsi basically lost all his units and he calls it GG. So yeah, he loses the game. That means SoulsKeeper is actually getting to the finals, even though he was originally not even supposed to be in the semifinals, but Aegis didn't show up, so now he is here and he's getting to the finals. He'll be playing against me in the next 2 or 3 games. We have pretty even kill ratio on both sides. SoulsKeeper of course making way more units, also with the skeletons and everything. Also 7 upgrades on each side, which is balanced, and resources a little bit in favor of SoulsKeeper, but you can see that he was really struggling with wood. On the other side, Pepsi basically overgathered by 100% on his wood, so that was also not too efficient. And gems are basically the same. Pepsi just didn't spend that much. So yeah,